In La Liga so far this season, Jude Bellingham has scored 11 goals, which is just as much as Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha and Joao Felix combined. That's kind of embarrassing. Barcelona obviously have the problem that they don't finish enough of their chances, and it has already cost them a lot of points in La Liga. Why are they that bad at finishing, and how can they solve this problem? Well, that is what we'll discuss in this video, so make sure to stay tuned. Why do Barcelona suck at finishing? First of all, because of Robert Lewandowski. Last season, in his first months at Barcelona, he was arguably Barcelona's most impactful player, scoring 9 goals in his first 7 games. He was a monster, and why was he that good? Well, Barcelona played with a lot of fluidity. Busquets, Pedri and Frenkie de Jong formed a midfield that circulated the ball quickly, and with Rafinha and Dembélé at the wings, Lewandowski got a lot of supply, both from the right and the left. Barcelona's way of playing was perfect for Lewandowski to come to fruition, and so he did. 9 goals in 7 games, that is impressive. This season, he scored 7 goals in his first 13 La Liga games. But as some of you might know, his form already dropped in the second half of last season, where he only scored 10 goals in his last 19 games. For a long time, this decline in Lewandowski's productivity was blamed on Xavi, on the system, on a lack of supply. It is true that without Pedri, who has been injured during some periods, Barcelona's midfield was less fluent. And this season, Barcelona's general fluidity has often been mediocre. With the departure of Busquets and Dembélé, that's not a real surprise. So, maybe Lewandowski's drop in form was just to blame on a lack of supply compared to those early months where he did great. It would be nice if that would actually be the case. What's worrying though is that it's not Xavi or the other players who are to blame. It's probably Lewandowski himself. In some games, like in Barcelona's game against Atletico Madrid, he gets enough supply, he gets tons of chances. But at the moment, he is really just missing some chances that he would have scored 1 year ago. Apart from that, he's declining overall. He's less sharp and he's quicker to lose the ball, he's less creative in attack, he makes less runs in behind the defense than 1 year ago. He really seems to be on a general decline. That might indicate that his age of 35 is starting to have an impact on his performances. It's sad but true, but Lewandowski is simply falling off. Lewandowski might not be the only problem though. If you take a look at some great Barca teams from the past, you see that there are often multiple players in attack who will contribute with a lot of goals. Eto'o, Messi, David Villa, Pedro, Suarez, Neymar, Barca have often had more than one attacker who is lethal in front of goal. It is only from 2020 onwards that Barcelona have started to depend on one single player to score goals. Messi was Barca's savior in the 2020-2021 season. Barca had a lot of trouble in the 2021-2022 season without a real goal scorer, until Aubameyang came in January and managed to somewhat save Barcelona. And in the 2022-2023 season, Lewandowski was still good enough, mainly in the beginning, to lead Barcelona forwards. This season, with Lewandowski in his decline, there is no one else who can really chip in with goals. Joao Felix and Rafinha aren't as productive in front of goal as a real goal-scoring winger like Neymar was at Barcelona. They might have been unlucky this season at moments, but that doesn't change the fact that Barcelona have the problem of playing with 2 wingers who both can't really guarantee you 20 goals a season. That's the problem for Barcelona. Lewandowski is declining and they don't have any other player who will score 20 goals a season. But how should they solve that problem? Well, you could bet on Lewandowski and hope he regains his form, but that's not a good idea. Lewandowski, being 35 at this point, is on a general decline. He might still have some good games for Barcelona, but he will probably never consistently score 2 goals a game like he did at Bayern Munich anymore. Lewandowski is not a sustainable solution. In January, Vitor Roque will arrive at Barcelona. Might he be a solution? Well, Vitor Roque is 18 years of age. It would be wrong to expect him to become Barcelona's main supply of goals. That is why next season, if Vitor Roque still needs some time to adapt, Barcelona might want to look for a new number 9. Someone of the same caliber as Aubameyang 2 years ago. Not the very best in the world, but still an elite striker who will give you enough goals and who is at the peak of his powers. That could help Barcelona a lot, and that would make sure that Vitor Roque doesn't come under too much pressure. And what about those wingers? What about Joao Felix? Is he the right player for Barcelona with his lack of goals? Well, he might not score that much, but Joao Felix gives you a lot of overall danger in attack. He's a threat all game long. He is Barcelona's most creative player in attack. He can be dangerous out of nowhere. He is still valuable. His overall quality massively outweighs the lack of goals he scores. He is not the problem, and as a Barca fan, you do hope that Barcelona can keep him for the next few years. What about Rafinha? Barcelona ideally needs at least one winger who scores a lot of goals, right? Joao Felix isn't going to be that winger, and as Rafinha doesn't add as much creativity to the attack as Joao Felix does, the right wing spot is indeed where you would look at to have a goal-scoring winger in the future. Rafinha is a great winger, but he's not going to be the cornerstone of Barcelona's next great dynasty. There is someone else who might be though, and he is already at Barcelona. Lamine Yamal was known for scoring a lot of goals as well as being dangerous overall in La Masia. He might not have showed it in his first months of breaking through, but goal scoring is one of Lamine Yamal's qualities. Over the course of the next years, Xavi will be able to give him more and more game time, and eventually Lamine Yamal might develop into the goal-scoring winger that Barcelona are craving right now. Lamine Yamal might not be the next Messi, but he could become a better version of the Barcelona Neymar. At least that's what we can hope for. In the long term, with a promising striker like Vitor Roque and a goal-scoring winger like Lamine Yamal, Barcelona might be able to solve their goal-scoring problem. But football is hard to predict and we have to be careful not to get ahead of things. We don't even know whether Vitor Roque and Lamine Yamal will reach their potential, and whether Joao Felix will stay at Barcelona. At this very moment, it's hard for Xavi to really change something about Barcelona's scoring problem. It's a matter of hoping that Lewandowski will get into form again, and hoping that Vitor Roque will fit in well and adapt quickly. I didn't mention Ferran Torres. If Lewandowski keeps on missing chances, then it would definitely not be a bad idea for Xavi to simply use Ferran Torres as a striker, in a little bit of a false 9 role. He would deserve it with all the effort that he's been putting in since this summer. That was it for today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and feel free to share your own opinion in the comments down below. Thanks for your support, Força Barça, and have a good day.